you better lock in and buckle up, bucko, because you're in for another creepy and scary TikTok reaction video. You want to be careful on these creepy, weird, strange, mysterious videos because they might just change your reality. If you haven't already, please slap that like button and let's get ready to dive into tonight's video.
More than 130 years ago, the city of Chicago, Illinois seemed too grand to be real. This was the location of the 1893 World's Fair, also known as the Columbian Exposition. At the heart of this historical phenomenon was an ephemeral metropolis known as the White City. The fairgrounds sprawled over 600 acres, featuring more than 200 monumental structures that defied imagination. The Manufacturers and Liberal Arts Building alone covered nearly 32 acres. With the capacity to fit 4 of the great Roman Colosseum inside and seat 300,000 people, its vastness was almost incomprehensible. One of the event's most iconic images is the 65-foot golden statue of the Republic, gleaming in the sun and towering over the central lagoon of an elaborate canal system. Borrowing ideas from ancient Venice, visitors could cover more territory by traveling in Venetian-style gondolas through the canals that spanned most of the fairgrounds. Norway even sailed a full-sized replica of a Viking ship across the ocean to be put on display. Approximately 27 million people from around the world were introduced to foods that have since become universally recognizable, such as peanut butter, Hershey's chocolate, Pabst Blue Ribbon, Cracker Jacks, Juicy Fruit Gum, and Vienna sausages, to name a few. The integration of electrical power into nearly every aspect of our lives can, in many ways, be traced back to this event. Electricity lit the night, with the grounds illuminated by more than 100,000 incandescent light bulbs, a recently patented invention at the time. Technological marvels such as the first practical electric automobile and the first electric kitchen with an automatic dishwasher were also introduced. The entertainment area brought to the public the concept of amusement parks, with attractions, sideshows, international villages, and the first widespread use of souvenir merchandise like postcards, coins, and other memorabilia. Interestingly, spray paint and the concept of whitewashing can also be traced to the fair. The very first Ferris wheel was created for the event by bridge builder and steel magnate George Washington Gale Ferris. As the story goes, he sought to rival the Eiffel Tower, the highlight of the 1889 Paris Fair. At 264 feet tall, his wheel could accommodate 2,160 people at a time and offered panoramic views of the entire fairgrounds. The precursor to the electric moving sidewalk from the 1900 Paris Expo was also debuted in Chicago. It was constructed on the pier to save people from having to walk the 2,500-foot length to and from their steamships. Much like its successor in Paris, there were multiple platforms moving at different speeds in a looping circuit. The first platform was for standing and moved at only 3 miles per hour, while the second, fitted with benches, moved slightly faster at 6 miles per hour. As we delve deeper into the World's Fair events, a pattern begins to emerge, one that seems to defy the conventional history we've all been taught. In cities all over the world, we consistently see the same grand and ornate structures, civil engineering and infrastructure projects being constructed on a colossal scale within an impossible time frame. Less than 30 years after the Civil War, we find cities like Chicago looking as if they could be part of Vatican City or anywhere else in Old World Europe. Yet we're told that everything was built using wood, plaster, and temporary materials, with the intention of demolishing them when the fair ended. However, without exception, some isolated buildings still stand today because some were constructed with permanent materials. Everything else got destroyed. But we get a glimpse of the craftsmanship involved through structures like the Art Institute of Chicago and the Museum of Science and Industry. In Chicago's case, the majority of the fairgrounds didn't need to be demolished because they were conveniently destroyed by fire a few months after the event ended. Why were certain ones constructed from permanent materials? And why did they so often hold the title of the world's largest building at the time? It raises the question, how could the world's largest buildings have been constructed using mostly temporary materials? Are we to believe that just over a century ago, people made a habit of building some of the largest, most magnificent, and ornate buildings ever seen, only to use them for a few months? Even if we disregard the buildings themselves, the earthworks involved in these projects would challenge modern capabilities and equipment under such tight timelines. And most importantly, why would they do all of this just to destroy it? Could the World's Fair events have been the perfect cover to hide the remnants of a unified global system that existed before the upheaval of the Civil War and 2 world wars were used to reshape our world? The similarities between the narratives surrounding the fairs, the architecture, and the scale all seem to point to something more than coincidence. It suggests a carefully orchestrated erasure of a past we were never meant to remember. We have to ask ourselves, how much of our history has been rewritten? What has been lost? And how much has been hidden in plain sight? More than 130 years ago, the city of
The people who won got to write history. The people in charge of this world get to rewrite history to their liking. That's why it's called his story. History. His story. And this, we're not that dumb. We can put the pieces together. It don't take a rocket scientist to look at these ancient structures that's still here and be like, hold on, something ain't adding up. It doesn't take a architect engineer, to figure this out. People are putting the pieces together and we are coming up with the right conclusions. Let me know your thoughts below.
What in the world is going on in Ashgabat, Turkmenistan? I mean, not only do they have all of this craziness going on, but there's also a giant crater that's always on fire. That kind of reminds me of the craters I've talked about in my other videos, if you catch my drift. But this isn't the craziest part. No. The craziest part about all this, even though they have things that look like Lucifer's torch and the egg of Ishtar and a giant plunger, the craziest part is this place is completely empty. And when I'm talking empty, I mean empty. You would be lucky to see one person or one car driving around in this insane city that's mostly made of white marble. The city that has another thing that looks like Lucifer's torch. Just look at this place. Literally the craziest looking city I've ever seen. I mean, if this place doesn't give you major Antichrist vibes, I don't know what does. This is their former president who's wearing a cape and statues with shields of lions on them. You know who's talked about as coming back as a lion, right? I'm not even done yet. There's more. I haven't even talked about these crazy ruins in Ashgabat. These ruins that look like they came from a prior civilization that probably had much better technology than we are led to believe. Technology that I'm willing to guess exists in this city if they're able to offer free gas and electricity. Could it be that they're able to offer free electricity because their city literally looks like a motherboard computer? That's the city. That's the city, and I'll show you. All you gotta do is back up and you will see that crazy city sitting right in the heart of Turkmenistan. Man, and I thought Astana, Kazakhstan was strange. This place takes the cake, though. I don't know what's going on here, but it's not nothing. I'll tell you that much. And just to clarify, all of this was just my opinion. It's just for educational purposes. It's just for entertainment. I'm sure this is a normal, totally fine city with nothing weird going on whatsoever. What in the...
Yeah, something's definitely going on in Turkmenistan, Ashgabat. There's no way this city that looks like Dubai and you got this flaming pit, it's completely empty. This is suspect. Extremely suspect. They're not telling us the truth. I wonder, when did these get actually built? Is the question. And what do they look like inside?
You that nearly all the world's most...
What?
They don't want you to know this. What if I told you that nearly all the world's most iconic ancient structures were built with technologies far beyond what we understand today? These buildings are infused with hidden technologies designed to harness and manipulate energy. Take a look at these European cathedrals. There is more to the towering spires and stained glass windows than meets the eye. The spires acted as antennas, drawing energy from the skies, whilst the glass was infused with metal to amplify and direct this energy throughout the building. Resonant frequencies were used to heal and elevate consciousness within those walls. But it doesn't stop there. The pyramids of Egypt, the ziggurats of Mesopotamia, and the stupas of Asia are all built on powerful energy vortices, strategically placed to tap into the Earth's natural power. The ancients did not need wires or power lines to power their cities. They don't want you to know this. What if I told you that nearly all the
I wish we had a fraction of the technology that they had back in the days, man. They give us a Tesla and be like, oh, look at us. We're in the future. Not really.
What if I told you the ocean was the real outer space? A couple years ago, an independent researcher named Tyler Schmerkenhieser designed and engineered a one-of-one submarine with an adaptive hyperalloy composite hull. To prove it, guy was obsessed, believed the concept of the ocean floor itself was a lie. Stuck a camera on the front of the submarine and set off into the unexplored depths of the Mariana Trench. And Buddy, the species he'd captured on these videos, were things that have yet to be explained to this day. But instead of finding the seafloor, he discovered what he described as an abyssal vortex, a swirling black whirlpool that no previous expedition had ever encountered. Said that by the time he'd gotten through it, he rose up to lands that he'd never seen before in his life. Saw these strange human-like beings standing up on the shore. Was like this upside-down world, accessible through vortex canals in the depths of the water. What if I told you the ocean was the...
Sounds like a Gartha, doesn't it? Hollow Earth. Anyone?
The elites have underground cities and tunnels all around the world. Watch this.
We actually found it. I didn't think we'd find this cave, but here it is.
These are all around the world, y'all. We're moving in secret right beneath our feet.
This is a dungeon. I know, who built it?
Exactly, who built that?
Yeah. What? No way. Alright, so we have a choice to either keep going on this level or to go up. Or to start to go up. Whoever made the staircase knew what they were doing. Yeah. Dude, this is an elevator. Holy crap. Dude, it sounds like there's power to it or something. What?
Stay weird, y'all. What do you think they're using these secret tunnels for? Y'all let me know in the comments, and as always, stay weird.
Are you kidding me? The underground world is being exposed. A whole different new world is right below our feet. Well, new to us. This is crazy. Who built these?
Alright, so we have a choice to either keep going on this.
How could you even put stairs? I would be so claustrophobic walking through that stuff. There's no way. I'd just be like, man, am I getting enough oxygen? It's just, man. Anxiety through the roof watching this or walking through there. Unbelievable.
Prove a lot.
The elites.
Microscopic images prove a lot. They literally prove a creator. How can you say there's no God when looking at microscopic pictures? This is an ant, and if you're here long enough, you may just see a demon. This is a freaking eye, and it looks just like a black hole. I mean, look at this intricate design at a microscopic level. I mean, it's bizarre. It just sucks in all the light like a black hole would, or what they call a black hole. And here's a literal hole in the skin from a needle. Look at this. This is salt, much like snowflakes. It all has a completely different design. There are no two snowflakes or no two salt grains that are alike. This is literally a cat's tongue. You know how it feels like sandpaper? They have like millions of little tongues on top of their tongue. A creator made the cat like this so it can clean itself. Here's another ant. So there's a lot of people out there who think parasites are actually demons. I don't know, but this is a tapeworm. I would say that could maybe pass for a demon. By the way, look in its eye. Maybe that's a picture of its host. This is literally shark skin. Again, how could you say that there is no God? These things were just finally organized themselves at a microscopic level to serve their purpose? Paper. Why paper cuts hurt? God's real, and it's obvious. Microscopic images prove a lot.
It does look kind of scary, man. It's like it's smiling. Yeah, this is definitely giving me some demonic vibes, low key.
You learn in school is a lie.
1920 is when everything pretty much changed. They started changing every single thing. They started removing certain parts of the history. They started rewriting the history. 1920s is about that time. Educational system started changing everything. Rockefeller educational system. So if you find books, you want to find books before 1920s. Because if you don't find books before 1920s, you're usually being told a bunch of nonsense. And you look at a lot of the free energy books too, and everything related to the ether. That's before 1920s. The ether was removed from the periodic table after 1908. Every book you look into talks about ether and terrestrial magnetism and all of these things. 1908, that was removed off the periodic table.
Wonder why.
And that was removed so that people would not believe in the ether. They would think it's woo-woo. They would think it's pseudoscience. Those are all terms of the Rockefeller educational system. Coming up with terms to debunk the truth and debunk what we were once connected to. Then when you get rid of ether, you get rid of everything related to the fifth element and the quantum. You get rid of all of that. And then you make up a whole new narrative.
And that's
you
why
remove all that so that when you can't explain something, you just say, I don't know what it is.
Here's why everything you learn in school is a lie.
Man, that almost makes you mad, doesn't it? Dropping 100, 200, 300 on the electric bill when we could be getting it for free just straight off the ether. Giant geoglyph found in Peru.
This photo is from 1721 by Dietz Knudsen. Okay, look at the picture. This guy, hand on the knee. The guy behind him leaning forward a little. This guy with holding something up. The guy right here, hands in front. This guy, hand leaning on something. Now watch this. Boom. Hand on knee. Guy behind him slightly leaning front. Holding something up. Holding his hands in front of him. Got his hand resting on something. What the actual F is going on here? This is either A, the craziest coincidence and dare I say fate, like history repeating itself type of thing, or they know about this painting and recreated it, reenacted it. Why they would do that, I have no idea. I've never seen that painting. I've never heard of Dietz Knudsen. But clearly, it's the same exact thing. So this photo is from 1721.
Damn. Is that a coincidence or what? We need some explaining. It looks like they're eating McDonald's. These guys are having a feast, but it looks like the people before was eating McDonald's.
One by Dietz Knudsen. Okay, look at the picture. This guy, hand on the knee. The guy behind him leaning forward a little. This guy with holding something up. The guy right here, hands in front. This guy, hand leaning on something. Now watch this. Boom. Hand on knee. Guy behind him slightly leaning front. Holding something up. Holding his hands in front of him. Got his hand resting on something.
Oh my God. It's like they showing off they eating McDonald's on a private plane is what I'm getting. But a coincidence like that though? From a painting back in the old days? That's strange.
So when the pyramid is operating, when I was talking about the isotopes, carbon, oxygen, and calcium are almost entirely non-spin isotopes. There's only calcium-43. Some calcium-43 will be extracted from the pyramid, and it'll come round because it's paramagnetic, and oxygen, which is also in there, is paramagnetic. Condensed etheric matter, which is neutral, will be traveling in a wormhole and will reappear in the sarcophagus. And I predict that when it's operating, after it's operated for a period of time, you will have mana. You will have this white powdery substance, it collecting at the point of alpha and in a small area around it, filling up that chamber. And with this, it's like raw chi. Fantastically powerful. It'll allow you to see through time and see across time and see back through time, all of time. So when the pyramid is operating, what I've...
He said mana was raw chi. That's interesting.
Here we have a video from the mine explorer in France, where he goes down into a mine with a lot of architecture that would seem... Here we have a video from the mine explorer in France, where he goes down into a mine with a lot of architecture that would seem to be on the surface, probably at the time of when this little city was around. There's even a car from the early 1900s, and just endless tunnels with stonework. It's definitely an interesting thing to look at, and incredible to say the least. What do you think? Let me know in the comments and follow Question Antiquity for more.
3 ancient artifacts found from cultures around the world. Number 1, the Sweet Track. Almost 6,000 years old, an ancient timber walkway was discovered in 1970. Located in the Somerset Levels in England, originally part of a network of tracks built to provide a dry path across the marshy ground. Number 2, the sarcophagus of Khufu. The Great Pyramid is the largest in Egypt. It's attributed to Khufu, who was a pharaoh in the 26th century BC. In 1904, a sarcophagus was found in the exact central axis of the pyramid. Despite the fact that the entrance to the burial chamber was filled with limestone to discourage looting, his mummy was not inside. Number 3, in 2018, a farmer in Greece was trying to park his car in the shade of an olive grove on his property. Ground gave way to a 4-foot hole, and when he peered inside, he found a Minoan tomb undisturbed.
They didn't show what was inside. Probably was some coins.
Y'all know how when our skin turns green or when we wear copper or fake jewelry? Watch this.
So when you turn green from wearing that necklace or that ring or that bracelet,
Just so you want. Y'all know how when our skin turns green or when we wear copper or fake jewelry? Watch this.
so when you turn green from wearing that necklace or that ring or that bracelet or that watch to them earrings, you're exposing your true skin color.
Stay with me. Melanin and plants go through the same photosynthesis. We absorb the sun the same as plants do. The only difference we have with plants is that they have magnesium and we have iron. Now we know that our bodies are made up of a lot of water, almost 80%, 75. A lot of oxygen. What color does iron take when it's in water? That would explain why we are copper colored beings. Now when a leaf dies or falls in frequency, it turns the same color of our copper colored skin. It loses its green color. They also try to say that the green veins we see in our skin is just a trick of light. Now some babies are also born with green skin patches on them, and they didn't have no fake jewelry. And have y'all found it fascinating that babies don't have to drink water? You almost have to force them to drink it. Look, top 10 tips to get your kids to drink water, to get them more exposed to this oxygen. And some people say that could be the reason why our bodies age. Because DNA passes down and stays alive forever because it's the magnesium that holds it together and keeps it alive, protects it. Now plants are green, they don't have iron, they have magnesium. Now we know in Egypt that Osiris is green. He had green skin, immortality, magnesium. Even when we come out the womb, it says our bodies aren't suited for water for several months. Also, they can't tell where our genes originate. The civilizations that we built, the knowledge that we had. It is the oldest human DNA strain on Earth. What's in our skin is found in space. Y'all can say I'm crazy, but y'all know some of these aliens are different colors. We probably came to this planet with green skin. But y'all stay dangerous and let me know what y'all think. Y'all know how when our skin turns green or when we wear copper or...
That's crazy. I never experienced that. Can't you develop a rash if that keeps going? Damn, are those mushrooms? Ancient mushrooms? What else could they be?
So what you've got is you've got the Saturn as we have now with the ring around it projecting out a false reality pockets. False reality. It hits the moon, and the moon is working like an amplifier, which then creates and projects the false reality onto this planet. So we're living an inverted reality here. It's not how, it doesn't work.
What do you mean by an inverted reality?
Well, an inverted reality in the sense that you succeed by doing bad. You succeed by fucking over, excuse my language, you succeed by screwing over your fellow man. If you're that's if you want to go along with that. I don't care if you succeed. I'd rather not succeed and be okay and take care of people I love. So whether or not it's success is not, I'm not interested in that. What I'm trying to do is change the frequency here so that ceases to exist anymore. So what you've got is you've got the Saturn as we have now with the ring around it projecting.
It says R.I.P. Max Spires. What happened to him?
Out a full.
Dad, move your hand.
This has got to be some type of AI. There's no way that was a cloud. You guys got to let me know your thoughts below on this. That's all I got for today's video. If you made it this far, be sure to put short but sweet for the code word. I just want to thank you guys for checking me out on today's video, and I'm going to have a longer one prepared for us for tomorrow. And I just want to thank you guys. I appreciate you, and I'm going to see you on the next one. JetskiChucK signing out.